Halal Hangouts. Welcome, guys, to our very first show in partnership with ReviveFM 94.0. And boy, do we have a juicy, tasty show for you guys tonight.
We go around the UK looking for the best places to eat. We rate places based on service, taste and price, which is we find are the main reasons you'd go to a restaurant. We are Abu, who is not here today, and he's a bit camera shy, so we call him the cameraman. Shaz, who's our co-host today, or my co-host, and me, Taf, and we have our boys who regularly show up in our videos. So where did it all start? It started when we would go out every weekend, like friends do, trying new food places. Some of them good, some of them not so good. We were in a dessert place in Whitechapel called the Urban Chocolatier. And we thought, we should really record this. This is like, we're going out every weekend. Let's document this. Let's show the world. And that's when we made our first video. And it's still online today. Check it out.
Still online. When was that? About 2000, probably 2014. 2014, our very first video. And it was in a little back alley dessert place in East London.
Yeah, so
now we're here on Revive FM doing our own show. What can I say?
And now on to what we ate last week. So this segment talks about what restaurants we went to, what we liked, what we disliked, and where we want to go to next. So Shaz, where did you eat last week?
Okay, so I want to talk first about one place which is friggin' phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. I went to Istanbul and I went to the original Nusret.
Oh, Salt Bay. If you don't know,
Salt Bay's original restaurant.
Right now, for the listeners, I'm doing the whole arm thing with twiggling my fingers.
Basically, a bit of dust of rock salt onto that amazing steak. So, you know what? There wasn't much I disliked about this place. I think it definitely lives up to the hype for sure. We got the beef fillets, so we had a kg of beef fillets.
A kg?
I didn't eat the whole kg.
Wait, hold on. 1 kg, like a kilo. Like a kilo you have in the shop of sugar. Like, that thing's heavy.
Yeah, it was meat though. I can eat meat. I don't know if I can eat a kilo of sugar, but I can eat a kilo of meat, no problem. Anyway, I had 500 grams, just to be precise here, and it was phenomenal. Now the cut of meat was phenomenal, but just it was just basically seasoned with a little bit of rock salt and lots of butter.
Lots of butter.
It was sizzling in butter, and underneath the butter and the steak was some phenomenal garlic bread. Oh my gosh! It was delicious.
Did your knife cut through it like butter?
It sure did, mate. Sure did.
The salt and is it just salt and pepper seasoning with butter?
Yeah, simple. You know how steak should be? Very, very simple. Now, that steak was great, and then they also had this tomahawk which they gave us, which is like a fillet, and that was just as nice. And of course, we got the Salt Bay experience. Wasn't Nusret himself, but it was one of his colleagues at the restaurant, and some of that footage will be on our channel very, very soon. The actual full review very soon. Taf, where did you go last week?
Last week I went to Band of Burgers in Walthamstow. Now this is a chain. They've opened up a few different places, different restaurants in London. You have Camden, Brick Lane, and Walthamstow is the latest addition. For those of you who know the area, it used to be another burger chain who sadly went out of business, and it was Brioche Burger who were pretty good as well, and in that precise location. So that was a bit sad that they went out of business, but they handed it over, and it was like this. They had this like very brotherly love moment where the owners handed over to each other. So the owner of Band of Burgers, Zishan, we see him at all the halal food festivals. Their street food is amazing as well. So let's talk. So that's Band of Burgers, but let's talk about what I ate. Right. So I'm a big fan of burgers. in general. Bread. There's something about bread and meat that just floats my boat. So I had the American burger, which was this dry-aged Angus. No, sorry, it wasn't the dry. I didn't have the Wagyu. I had the Angus beef patty with a fried patty of cheese. Now, literally deep fried cheese coated in breadcrumbs, put on top of a huge, juicy beef patty with a little bit of condiments, not too many. Like they had onions and lettuce, which I asked for, and the sauce, the relish was amazing. So this thing, I was starving that day, and you know, it feels like when you go to a restaurant, it depends how you're feeling that day. I completely smashed that burger. That was the highlight of my night. I had a great.
Great man, you're making me hungry. Dude, you're making me hungry.
Yeah.
So, anything you disliked? We're being too nice.
I disliked. I feel like I could have. There was one dish which I'm trying to think. I really liked everything that night, but there was one thing. Oh yes, the cheesy fries. Oh man, they're not so good. So I wouldn't. They're called the mucky fingers, and the name in itself is called mucky finger fries. And it was the cheese wasn't good, and we had a word with the owners, and hopefully they update their menu. So Shaz, where else did you eat?
P.F. Chang's, dude.
Oh really?
Oh my gosh! And it's halal, by the way.
What is P.F. Chang's?
So it's a Chinese restaurant based in the heart of Covent Garden. Authentic Chinese cuisine, and wow, the just everything about it. I enjoyed the whole experience. I enjoyed the authenticity of all the food. I enjoyed the vibes. The service was spectacular. That's definitely one you need to get down to. P.F. Chang's. Are you a fan of Chinese food?
I really like Chinese food, but P.F. Chang's, everyone talks about it. Like, what is the hype? Tell us what is
the dynamite shrimp, dude? The dynamite shrimp, tempura battered, and it's in sort of this sriracha sauce. Oh my gosh, those dynamite shrimp. Honestly, if you're gonna go for one thing, go for the dynamite shrimp. But there's lots of other stuff there as well. You've got the shrimp lettuce wraps as well, which is nice because it's nice if you've got a family or a loved one that you want to take there and wrap these dynamite shrimps together. It's like a bit of an experience. But then you've got the original dynamite shrimp, which comes in one of those sort of cocktail glasses.
Okay.
It's lightly tossed in that sriracha sauce. And yes, that's got to be one of my favorites. Have you been P.F. Chang's?
No. I mean, everyone talks about it, P.F. Chang's, and I haven't been into. I really like Chinese food, so if it's halal and Chinese, I'd be very interested. What's the price range? So we're in Covent Garden, it's the end of the month, so everyone, I've got a bit of money, so I wouldn't go.
Payday, yeah. Payday. So it's not cheap. It's fairly expensive, but we went for a special occasion. It was my mum's birthday.
Oh,
so you got to treat the mother.
Yeah.
So and her favourite food is Chinese food.
Oh, right.
As is my other half and a few people in the family. They love Chinese, so we thought an obvious place to go was P.F. Chang's.
P.F. Chang's, definitely.
Taff, give us one more. Come on. Where you been this week?
This week last week, I also went to Christina's Steak in Barking, which is a steakhouse, a casual steakhouse, and I had a steak there. So I'm into meat, so I'm very if you're a vegan, please don't be offended, but I'm really into meat right now. So I love steak.
Right now, so it might change?
Yeah, it might change. I've been thinking about veganism. But yeah, Christina's Steak was good, salt and pepper steak, and it was nice and cheap, and
Which type of steak you go for?
I went for the ribeye. I always go for a ribeye cooked medium. The reason being is the marbling. I like that kind of fatty sort of taste. It just adds so much to just have ribeye and cook it medium. Don't overcook your steaks, everyone. Bit of education. If you go to a steak place, don't ask for a steak well done, right? Don't ask for that because you spoil it. Just go for medium.
So you're a medium kind of guy.
I'm a medium build.
So You just said you might consider veganism. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a passing comment. I thought about it. I actually bought some, that meat-free meat, plant-based meat this week.
The corn.
It's not corn. Well, I don't know what
similar
it is.
To corn.
Yeah, exactly, similar. But they made it look like mincemeat. So I'm gonna and I've got a burger as well. That I'm gonna try it out.
You know what? I've had the corn before, and I had it for a while. And there was a period where I was trying to reduce meat myself, and that really helped. The only thing is with corn, you need to be able to spice it up a bit yourself. So you got to create your own spices and maybe season it and put some peri marinade in there just to give it a bit of taste. But it's improved a lot. There was that what was that burger we had?
Impossible burger.
Impossible. It was literally impossible, because it was like, how did you do this? It tastes like a beef burger. Tell them about that. What was that?
Yeah, so it's this plant-based patty that people use to replicate meat, and it's a big thing in America at the moment. All the chains have started doing it, and the chains in the UK have started to take note as well. So I know there's like a Honest Burger that they do a plant-based, like vegetarian burger, and it tastes like meat. So but that Honest Burger is not halal, by the way. So if you do go there, you got a vegetarian option which tastes like meat, and it really does. I mean, the texture is what always kills it. It's the texture of these things. What do you think? Do you think you could replace meat with a plant, Shaz?
It's a good question. So the protein within meat, and this is you have to look this up to get my facts correct. But essentially, the protein in meat is from plants, right? Mm-hmm. Because they eat plants, and animals eat plants. They graze on plants, and that's where the protein comes from. So you can get your protein from a plant-based diet. Mm-hmm. I just won't be doing that myself. But saying that of a meat reducer, I definitely want to reduce my carbon footprint on this earth. Yeah. We are supposed to not eat too much meat. I think it's just become so commercialized and available now. We're just eating it for fun. But all right, I'm going to give you one more.
Go on then.
What I ate last week.
Go on.
The Pie Factory.
The Pie Factory?
Have you been?
I went. Is it the one in Whitechapel?
Yes, I didn't go to the Whitechapel one. I went to the one in Ilford. Now, if you go to the one in Ilford, make sure you mention Halal Hangouts. They'll treat you good. But their bangers and mash, wow. The mash, so creamy. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, some of the best mash I've ever had.
Oh wow.
And of course their chicken, so their steak and mushroom pies. The classic steak and mushroom pie with some gravy. Yum, yum, yum. So if you just want some traditional English food with a bit of a Asian twist, obviously, it's got...
Why do they do that? Why do you need to do that? Why do you need to add curry to everything? Why? Is that Asians? Add curry and salad. Oh, we're making spaghetti bolognese. Make proper spaghetti bolognese. I'm Asian, everyone, so it's all right. I can do
the accent.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you.
Yeah.
The thing is, we were there, which was quite funny. The place had sort of an authentic traditional English cozy feel. Imagining you're having a breakfast or a Sunday lunch. It had that kind of feel to it. Nice vibe, rustic, and then the music, Punjabi tracks.
Oh yes. All right. Now I'm getting it. So it's fusion.
Why? No, it's not fusion.
All right.
They just had that playing.
So Halal Hangouts, we are back. And now we're going to be talking about what is trending this week. And in social media, the number one trending thing is KSI vs Logan Paul, November the 9th. I don't know what this is, but it's trending. So Shaz, can you please enlighten me?
Yeah, just to elaborate. This obviously segment now is hanging out. You're hanging out with Halal Hangouts, and we just want to bring up what is trending. And I just literally went onto YouTube and I thought, what is trending? I want to know what the hell is going on in social media world. And you've heard of KSI, you've heard of Logan Paul, surely.
Were they the ones that had a fight?
Yeah, so they basically had a white collar amateur boxing match. So they're two YouTubers, two massive, maybe the two of the biggest in the world, right?
What do they do? What kind of stuff do they do on YouTube?
You know what? Logan Paul, I believe he started on like Vine, so he was doing silly vines and like those shorts and just messing about, and then he graduated, I guess you could say, and then took his audience over to YouTube. He does all different types of things. It might be pranks, he does sort of comedy sketches, that kind of stuff. KSI, now this is the funny one. This guy's a millionaire, right? He's a multi-millionaire. He started as someone who was playing FIFA.
I play FIFA?
Yeah, mate. You don't play FIFA like KSI played FIFA.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
This guy was scoring some crazy goals. On FIFA, and he was told, I think one of his friends, I don't know the exact story, but basically one of his friends told him, upload that. People will think that's a sick goal, right? So he puts it up on YouTube, gets millions of views. Next thing you know, he's tens of millions of subscribers, and he's a multi-millionaire. So the story goes that them two decide. So Logan Paul, obviously, he had a bit of a drama. You might have heard about it.
Drama?
Okay, so I'm educating out here
thank
as well.
you. Yeah.
He's not down with you're not down with the kids.
No.
Tough. You're not down with the kids. So basically, Logan Paul, I think it was last year, 2017 maybe. He basically was doing a YouTube sketch, and he went into this
graveyard. Was it that?
It's kind of like a graveyard, but actually it's like a hangman's place in Japan.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's where people go essentially hang themselves.
Yeah.
And they were walking through the forest trying to find people that had hung themselves, and they came across one. And obviously in that scenario, the normal average human being is going to be very shocked and it's going to essentially be like, yo, let's go. Yeah, this is not what we want to see.
That's a somber event, like you see that.
Very somber, very upsetting. He's recording it and basically making it into a joke.
Oh, wow.
So that nearly killed that kind of sort of really hurt his reputation.
Oh, man.
KSI, long story short, from what I know, he pulled him up on it. He did a sort of a white collar boxing match with another YouTuber first. KSI did.
Okay.
Logan Paul offered him out, or one or the other.
All right.
And then next thing you know, they're fighting, and that's where you heard, obviously, the very first one.
Okay, right.
Which was a YouTube event which pulled in crazy amounts of viewers.
So when you say he offered him out, like, what did he go like in school? Oh, you're gonna fight off me after school? What?
That's not how they do it, man. That's not how they do it nowadays. See, that's the old school way.
All right.
That's the old school way. You take it to the field, playground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you do it on Instagram. You do it on YouTube.
Oh, right.
You do it behind the screen.
Oh, right. So he's behind the keyboard. He sent him a message. Oh, look, I'm gonna comment on your video. And I'm gonna dislike you.
But respectively.
Yeah.
He went and fought, right? So he went and actually did the fight.
Yeah. He backed it up.
So, number one, they fought, they drew. Now, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, you might know.
Oh, yeah, I know Eddie Hearn.
The big time promoter.
Yeah.
He basically, he's seen money. He's seen money in these YouTubers. He's kind of guy, he's an old school. His dad's an old school promoter. You guys probably know. You probably know Taff. He thought, right, I'm going to take my dad's footstep. Became a boxing promoter. He's trying to revive boxing. He's done that. He's got AJ as one of his fighters.
Okay.
He's seen this as an opportunity to make some wonga.
Oh yeah.
He's commissioned the fight, so now they're fighting on the 9th of November in Staples Center.
Oh, right. What the Staples? What would you mean?
That's a big boxing. It's a big arena. It's a big arena in LA.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where they're fighting. And dude, this is the crazy thing about this is they're probably going to pull in more viewers than most professional fighters can do. And they're amateur fighters.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is these days. It's just selling the fight, isn't it? That's what boxers do. They go in and throw things around, and these two really hate each other, so it's going to be a good fight. the Staples Center. I thought you said Staples Corner, so I was thinking like, what?
Did I say Staples Corner?
No, you said
Staples Centre.
Yeah.
There might be fighting in North London. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's happening there. But yeah, I might watch it. I might watch the fight. I mean, it's a bit of a trend at the moment because then you've got the Adam Saleh boxing recently as well.
That guy Fauzi, was it
Fauzi
Tube?
Yeah.
He got battered. I watched that fight and it was like, they were wearing full headgear and he got smashed up. He had a nosebleed. His face was destroyed. I felt sorry for the guy. And he was wearing full headgear, and it was like, he's going on like he was a big guy.
What's the first rule? You do martial arts.
Right.
I do martial arts. What's the first rule when you fight?
Protect yourself at all times.
Protect yourself at all times. Remember what happened with Mayweather and Ortiz? Was it Ortiz? No, who was it? He basically pulled his guard down, and then Mayweather knocked him out. So it can happen in the biggest fights, and it happened again. So. That's you cannot defend yourself. But yeah, I guess this is why it's trending. This is why it's our trending topic of the week.
Okay. So one more point on that. Adam Saleh, he came in like Prince Nassim Hamid. I remember that. Do you see that?
You know what? He boxes a little bit in that style as well. He did the whole flip of the top rope. That guy's got talent. I think he's an ex-professional boxer. I think he is, or he lost his license or something.
Okay. Yeah, he was good. He was, he had some great moves. So, shall we move on to our hanging out segment where we take questions from the audience?
Let's do that. And guys, while we're taking these questions, feel free to call in at any time. You have the number, Taf.
It's 0333 444 0940.
And if you call in, remember you get a free fat burger if you get on the line. Free fat burger. Come on, guys. It's worth the call, and you can ask us whatever you want. You can talk about whatever you like. So let's get to the questions. Taf, one for you. Okay. This is from Kadris.
Okay.
What is the best restaurant you've ever eaten at?
The best restaurant. It's very subjective. Restaurants and foods, very subjective, very opinionated. Like I was saying earlier, it's how you felt on the day. How did that experience kind of resonate with you? So with me, I would say the best restaurant I've eaten at was in Pakistan, in Lahore, in the Pearl Continental Hotel. There's a 5-star restaurant called Dum Bukht.
Dum Bukht? Is that like Afghani food?
It's like dum bukht means to cook on the slow cook. So I had this like wonderful pilau rice and this wonderful salan curry, which was slow cooked for it felt like the whole day. The meat was so tender, the ingredients were fresh, the gravy, the sauce was just sublime. It was amazing. And there was this Qawwali guy singing in the background, and he was singing a song that my mum really liked and enjoyed. It was just vocals, and it was me, my mum, my dad, and I still remember that, and it was a great experience. So Dum Bukht for me.
And what if they're closer to home?
I think I'll defer that question to you.
Well, if you want some Dum Bukht or you want some traditional Afghani khana, Afghani food, then you've got Khyber Pass in Romford Road. One of my favourites. Why? Just the meat. The Peshawari naan that they do. Everything about it. I just enjoy it.
I mean, I've been there, and it's not like the decor and stuff didn't blow me away. I felt like I was in my uncle's house. Like, what is it that makes you say that this best restaurant?
That's the whole point, is the authenticity, the rusticness of it. You're supposed to be there and feel like you're at your uncle's house.
Okay.
Having some food. He's bought you some Dum Bukht.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did they have like that Himalayan salt lemonade? They have
got that.
What is it called? What's that for?
I don't know what it's called, but it's a lemonade. I've seen it, and I've seen people drink it there. It looks good. Get some lassi, dude. Some traditional lassi or some mango lassi. We have a cola.
Okay.
Caller. Who's on the line?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Brother, how are you? Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Who's speaking and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Stratford,
Okay.
Westfield. My name is Yasin.
Yasin.
Right.
So
I was listening to your conversation with your guys, and you come to talk about the restaurant.
Okay.
And right, okay. There are brilliant restaurants around East London area,
Yeah.
and Haber Pass Eat was a good restaurant back in days.
Okay.
I just want to share my experience with you that I had about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
On Saturday night.
Okay.
Right.
So go ahead.
It's definitely not a good feedback from what I experienced.
Okay.
And I think since Haber Pass opened, and that was my third time going there, but I've seen the difference between when was like a couple of years back, but now it's totally. Do you understand? I don't want to put a bad word for this their business and all that.
Okay.
But I think I'm doing as same thing.
Okay, great feedback there, Yasin.
Well, that's why we like the viewers, because this is the whole point of Halal Hangouts, is to debate.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it has, I don't know, but the experience I've had, food's always been good.
So this is what we say, it's our own opinions, it's very subjective, it's very personal to ourselves. I mean, food is such an emotive subject. Everyone has different experiences from different places. Shaz and I have gone to the same place and I've disliked it, and Shaz has absolutely loved it. You know, this is just part of the game. Right, so we have time for one more question. What is the radio frequency? That's from Events by Soiree.
Come on, we can do more questions than that one. That's 94.0. Thanks, Events by Soiree. Great question, because it's important. How about this one from Riz? Okay. What makes Halal Hangouts different from other food bloggers?
Okay, number one, we are more personal. We're more we put ourselves out on YouTube. We come in front of the camera. We talk about it. We eat things in front of the camera, and that's something that is very bold. So I'd say we that's the number one difference. And we also have the three of us, so we have contrasting views, and I'd say that's what makes us different from other food bloggers. And that, unfortunately, is all we have time for this week. Shaz, would you like to say your final words?
Guys, thank you so much. Make sure you tune in on 7 p.m. on Thursdays. We'll also be potentially putting this up on our YouTube channel as well. So guys, see you guys soon.
Take care. Assalamu alaikum.